Marketing in a business is the voice of the customer in the business. If you're looking to understand marketing properly, you would see and look at it from the angle of, I'm not selling to you.
Okay.
I'm building with you.
Africa is not just a market. It is a movement, a continent, young, digital, restless, scrolling, streaming, building, buying, but more than ever before, questioning. Because today, marketing in Africa cannot just sell. It must stand, it must speak, it must mean something. From Lagos to Nairobi, Accra to Kigali, brands are discovering a new truth. Attention is cheap, but trust is currency. Visibility is everywhere, but impact is rare. And in a continent powered by youth and driven by culture, strategy is no longer optional. It is survival. So what does the future of marketing in Africa really look like? Is it louder campaigns, bigger influencers, more data, or is it deeper storytelling, sharper positioning, and purpose-driven engagement? Again, Just Africa explores the future of marketing in Africa for strategic impact, where creativity meets culture, where data meets responsibility, and where brands don't just chase trends, they shape narratives. Because the future belongs to those who don't just market to Africa, but build with Africa. Once again, welcome to the second segment of Just Africa on Sook News Television. Please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Sook News TV and subscribe to the Just Africa show. Our guest, Femisire Ajayi, is the founder, TERZi Di ESPERTi Marketing and Martech and Media Polymath. Ajayi has built a career mastering this balance, leading award-winning campaigns, pioneering digital and experiential marketing solutions, and guiding African brands into the ad tech future. Recognized as one of Nigeria's top 35 under 35 marketing professionals in 2023 and a certified management consultant, he combines strategic insight, creative vision, and executional excellence in everything that he does. Once again, I have Ajayi with me in the studio. Hello, and welcome to Just Africa.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, how was going to the studio?
It was okay. It wasn't the worst. Thankfully, I had some help. Yeah.
Okay, marketing. This is one big industry that people miss up a whole lot. Many people, they mix up sales, marketing and sales. Some founders don't even understand what marketing is. They believe that the moment you start talking, people just tell someone about the organization, and that is marketing. In your terms, as a professional, what is marketing?
Okay, so I would agree with you first off.
Okay.
To say that a lot of people, and it's not just founders, it's business people, it's startup founders, it's even some of the OGs in the business, right, business world. A lot of people do not understand marketing for what it is. A lot of people confuse sales with marketing. Some people confuse branding with marketing. And then you now have that struggle between what marketing is seen as and what marketing should be, right? So there's a definition of marketing that I particularly love because it just speaks to me and how I see marketing as a whole, right? And it says marketing is identifying, anticipating, and literally taking care of the needs of your customer.
Can you take that again?
Identifying, anticipating, and taking care of the needs of the customer.
Okay.
Marketing in a business is the voice of the customer in the business. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
So when you, or if you're looking to understand marketing properly, you would see and look at it from the angle of, I'm not selling to you.
Okay.
I'm building with you.
Okay.
Right? So if I want to, okay, so let's look at, since it's just Africa, right? Let's look at the African viewpoint and maybe the Nigerian viewpoint. And this happens worldwide, actually. So you find that a lot of people would start to take the marketing function serious when everything else is built.
Yeah.
I am totally against it. I say this loudly and on every mountaintop I climb. Marketing starts immediately you have the business idea. And this is because if marketing is done properly, marketing should show up in even the choice of name. It should show up in the style of your logo. It should show up in the colors that you use, the typography, your fonts, where you're positioned, how you're positioned, where you are located. All of that is marketing. Because the idea for good marketing is for you to be in a space where your target audience and your customers can easily find you, connect with you, interact with you, and engage with you. Very key, right? So if I want to connect with the youth, for instance, Nigeria is a youth population to a large extent, but I know the major cities. I'm going to be talking in Lagos, I'm going to be talking to Abuja, I'm going to be talking Port Harcourt, I'm going to be talking in Enugu, right? And so if I need to have hubs, I would put my hubs in those places because I am a youth brand, right? If I am an NGO or something that's maybe leaning towards a political angle to it, I know where I should be, right? And that is marketing. So marketing is not create everything else, then now call someone to come and sell.
Yes, because that is where most business, that's what most businesses do.
I agree.
Now, you're from your definition, it is you, the business owner, that should identify the need of the people, right?
Well, the business owner or the business as a whole, which would practically stem from the marketing function of the business.
So why do we have businesses who go for selling themselves instead of trying to identify needs?
So, okay, so my business is TERZi Di ESPERTi. You almost ordered it. That's okay.
I apologize.
Right? And for us, I tell people that we are very concerned with the art of marketing.
Okay.
A lot of people are focused on the science, so all the funny abbreviations, CAC, CTV, cost per contact, and all of that is just nice. And even though there's the science to it, that, is also very key, but I think we've lost the art, which is essentially being in a space where you understand. Look, if you are in the desert and I offer you a bottle of water, I don't have to sell to you. You're sold. If you are naked in the snow and I bring to you a blanket, I don't need to tell you, oh, this is the best blanket on the market. If you, take this blanket from me, I'll give you a discount. I don't need to. You will take it from me, right? And that's how you understand marketing as a whole. It is understanding the audience. What does your target market need? What does your target audience need? And then you take that back into the business and you build for that.
How about businesses that don't even know their target audience?
And then that's the problem.
Now you get it. So what you as a marketer, what would you tell that business? You don't know your target audience, yet you want to sell. So
not knowing target audience is one of the is one of the most absurd things in business. And it's weird that you'll find that a lot of people are on that table.
Sure.
There are a lot of businesses that want to sell to everybody. That's the first mistake. You cannot sell to everybody.
True.
You can't. Everybody cannot be your target audience. Everybody cannot. At best, you have your primary, you have your secondary, you have tertiary. That's okay. But that's not. I'll give you an example. You're trying to sell breakfast cereal.
Yeah.
Right? Or a kiddie snack. Now, the snack is for children. But the children are not your primary target. Does that make sense?
Okay. Academically, I will tell you yes. Because at least, maybe because of school, I already understand that part.
So it's for children. It's a children toy or but they're not your primary target.
The target are the parents.
Target at this point is even the mom. That's your primary target, right? But again, your secondary target is the child because the child has to kind of like what they see. So the colors, the fonts.
Yeah.
You see every breakfast cereal has an elephant, has a lion, has a monkey on it.
Yeah.
The children get excited. But excitement is not going to buy. Excitement is not going to take it off the shelf, right? So you now need to sell to the mom, who is the one who's going to pick up that breakfast cereal and say, why do I need to buy this? So that means when the mom picks up the breakfast cereal, because you understand what pushes her purchase decisions, then you see that there's a breakdown on the box of that breakfast cereal. fortified with vitamin D, it has vitamin A, boost your children's, this and that, it's your daily intake, and you have the breakdown of sugars, fats, proteins, and all. Every mother wants to make sure that the child is eating properly.
Yeah.
Right? For whatever is what. Now, people can argue breakfast cereals are not healthy. I'm not going to do that here. Right? But everybody wants to see that. So if you are doing your marketing properly, you've taken into consideration all of that, and you've answered her questions on the pack of her cereal.
Yeah.
If you do I'll give you an example. You see some concerts now. I'm talking live music concerts.
Okay.
And you see they've got people doing the sign language.
Yeah.
And literally see some of them really going in hard and they're having fun with it. Almost seems like, why? Why are they doing this? Well, it's because somebody has sat down and done their proper research to realize that it's not only people who can hear that watch these concerts on TV.
Yeah.
It's not only people who can hear the music that want to be outside in the midst of a lot of people, dressed nice, and some people are, hearing impaired. But they also want to partake of this. So something as simple as having someone sign the music or sign the speech means that you've increased your customer base. Simple, not hard. That simple. But the number of people that would watch that compared to as an entire package compared to the people that would have if they were not, it's different. It's the same thing with church, right? Some people, everybody's new school now, churches are trying to do stuff. And you find out that some churches still have like the Yoruba church. These are people who otherwise not have come to church because they don't understand all of this nice English that we're speaking about. But somebody has done, and that is marketing. Once you understand what marketing is, everything else just pales.
Oh, okay. So now, some people mix this up, marketing and sales. Okay. A whole lot. Some places don't even believe that they are different at all. But for those of you in that field, you always see that marketing is different from sales.
Yes.
What's the difference?
Okay, so I like to say this. I say sales is push, marketing is pull.
Okay.
So if I have a product that is ready-made, this is this phone. These are the features of the phone. If I give it to you as a salesperson, my expectation of you is to push it. So you go out to the general public and you tell them, you see this phone, it's the best phone you can buy. This phone is worth this much, right? This phone has this size of screen. This phone has this, many hours on the battery life.
Yeah.
You don't care what that person is about. You are pushing. That is sales.
Okay.
Understand me?
Clear.
So, because I am pushing and I need to bring you over to is why I'll give you discounts, bulk discounts, trade discounts. Johnson, I'm going to give you a freebie. I tell you, if you sign up, I'll give you this much, or you get this percentage, or there's a particular bonus. That is sales. It's push. You don't care about them. It's just...
Femisire, I'll stop you here. You will agree with me that that's what we do here in Africa.
My point!
Yeah, we don't do marketing.
We don't. A lot of people do not.
We do sales, right?
We do. Most people do sales and say they're doing marketing.
So,
because if you're doing marketing, remember I said marketing is pull. So marketing is going into that market, going into your target market and saying, what are the gaps? What does this market need that I can provide?
Yeah.
Right? If am I doing something absolutely new? Or if it's something that is not new, what is not being done in that market?
Okay.
So I can own that. And I'm giving you what you need. So if you, let me give you Nigeria, for instance, the people that, Burna Boy, Burna Boy bought a Senna last year.
Yeah.
It's a very low vehicle, right? Now, anybody who wants to drive a Lamborghini, they are low vehicles. Now, anything you want to do in Nigeria with a low vehicle is sales.
Okay.
because it's a low vehicle. We don't have good roads. I'm sorry, but it's fact. We don't have a lot of good roads in Nigeria, right?
True.
So anybody who's going to, sell a car or bring in a car or a vehicle with low clearance is selling. Because if you were doing marketing, you would know that roads are bad, so you need a car with a high clearance. So you go and either produce a car with a high clearance or source of vehicles that have high clearance and then bring them into the country.
Yeah.
Guess what? Just because it's an SUV and it's high, you've already done 50% of the work. And then sales comes in to close that deal.
Yeah.
Because sales says, I know you don't have good roads in your area. I know your estates, the roads are terrible, right? But what I'm selling to you that's going to be the first USP they call out. It's a high clearance vehicle.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about every time. That is marketing that has now passed the baton on to sales.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If I'll give you another good example. There's Bitters brands have become very popular. Right?
Okay.
That's another good example of marketing. Because they've looked at it and a lot of Nigerians always say, sugar. Give them some drink. Sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar. I don't want sugar. Right?
Yeah.
But then, somebody sat down and said, okay, so you want bitter stuff. How about we package you bitter stuff?
Yeah.
And tell you, it has herbs and, herbal extracts and all of that. It's a big market today.
Yeah.
All the big boys are trying to get into the market.
Sure.
Because the Nigerian market likes that, wants that, and they're giving it.
Would you say a company, practically, I think I've established this prior to now, that most African businesses are doing more of sales than marketing?
Yeah, totally. I would say that with my full chest.
Okay. So a business that is more into marketing than sales, what benefit do they stand to gain more than the one pushing sales than marketing?
More money, more growth.
First of all, you believe that marketing is better than sales?
It's not
at this point.
It's not.
Let's establish that
than
first.
Sales. They work hand in hand.
Okay.
Right. So there's been arguments that people from different schools of thoughts that would say, there's branding, there's marketing, there's sales, But like there's a skit maker, I don't think he's as popular as he used to be, who says the oga pata pata of them all, right? In my opinion, is marketing.
Okay.
Because for me, marketing is the entire thing, which would include sales, branding, research, technology.
Yeah.
All of these things. They're still in the market though. There's a particular beer brand that was in this country for about 8 months before they said Fem. They were in the market for 8 months, testing, retesting, trying out stuff, seeing how people consume the alcohol, seeing how people consume the beer, and that is marketing. All of that research, which means that by the time they were ready to launch, they knew what they were doing, they knew who they were talking to. So again, there's a slant of strategy to my career. And I always tell people, strategy is not just what you want to do.
Yeah.
Strategy is also about what you will not do. Get it?
Yeah.
Strategy is about what you would not do. So no matter how many people, and I think they just had the Agongo Fish Festival.
Yeah.
This was, I think, 2 weeks ago. No matter how many people are going to be at the Agongo Fish Festival, Mercedes-Benz will never sponsor.
Yeah.
Never. Let all the richest people in Nigeria gather and say they're at Agongo Festival. You'll never see a Mercedes-Benz banner there. Why? It's not their brand. It's not
their thing.
It's not them. So they know themselves. They know who they are speaking to. They know what they stand for. Now that is marketing. It's not pride. It's just, this is not our market. We know our markets. We know the part of the markets that we want to talk to. And they focus on that. It's a simple thing. The banks who tell you they're commercial banks and they deal more with businesses. It's the same setup low-key if you look at it. But they're telling you we're not doing general banking for just everybody. No, we want to focus on these markets, right? I know one of the banks now has something they call female banking or women banking or banking from, they've looked at that and said, look, there are a lot of women in business and they need some specialized help. So we're going to focus on that. Now, that is marketing. Understanding that, look, the people or this gender that maybe are disenfranchised or don't have access to loans as much, or the confidence in granting access, to loans to women because maybe they spend more, maybe they're a bit frivolous, whatever. But, there's a market there. It might be a huge market, it might be a small market, but somebody has done enough research to say there's an opportunity here. And which is why I'm saying that if you do your marketing properly, your bottom line will thank you for it.
Okay, so you were talking about the benefits, the gains of those of organizations or businesses that are into more of marketing than sales.
I'll give you a good example. So I put out a post on my LinkedIn. I think this was earlier today or middle of the night. And there's a particular brand. I don't want to call brands.
No,
I'm not promoting any brand.
No, it's okay. They didn't pay you to do that anyway.
They have not.
But some of them pay. Maybe not for the show.
Right? So, and it's a soap brand. If I describe it, you probably know what it is, right? But it's a soap brand. It's an African brand.
Okay.
So it's a black soap.
Yeah.
Right? And I was shopping the other day and I noticed that, there were 3 colors. So like 70% had the same color, white, but, the edge of the soap packaging there were 3 different colors. And I'm like, hold up, what's going on here? Is it fake? Then you're starting to look at, well, what's the difference? Why does this have a different type of packaging? And, I realized it wasn't about that. It was just 3 different variants. Now, when I say African soap, what comes to mind? I'm seeing your beads and all of that. So, a very African, right? Mm-hmm. So, if I say African sponge, what comes to your head?
Yeah, anything African.
So, if I say African soap, what comes to, if there's a foreign soap and African soap?
There could be herbs, there could be
the natural extract, right?
Yes.
And typically, African soap smells very strongly.
Yeah.
Not necessarily off-putting, but it smells very strongly, right? So everybody who knows that particular soap knows it for the strong smell.
Sure.
Again, not necessarily off-putting, but to some, they'll find it off-putting, right? And I was very excited when I realized what happened. It's the kind of innovations that make me excited. They sweet my belly, like they say, right? So, what they did was there was the classic fragrance, which is the standard one everybody has known for years.
Yeah.
Then they had the fresh fragrance. And then they had something called the fragrance free. A round of applause again and again. Now let me tell you what they did. They're selling to Nigeria, right? To Nigerians in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And the classic fragrance, where Nigerians or Africans, we kind of, we're used to it.
Yeah.
Good. So we're used to it. And then they decided, look, we want to scale up. We want to expand our horizons. We want to start to export this. A lot of Africans who have jackpot, gone into the diaspora, they're all abroad. Everybody's importing stuff from Nigeria, right? So they know the benefits of the soap. It's African soap. It's good for you. It's got ash, it's got palm extracts and all of that. But I don't like the smell.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like the smell. It's too strong. I have my bath, the whole house is smelling.
I
don't. So what did they do? There's a fresh fragrance. Right? So they've taken out the usual traditional low-key, right, type of smell, and then they give you a fresh fragrance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, anybody who has the bat with that, you don't necessarily have to know it's African soap. It smells different.
Yeah.
Tell me, do they have more customers now or they don't?
Of course, they have more.
Good. Now, the people who say, you know what, even the fresh fragrance, maybe it's not really doing it for me. I want all the benefits of this soap without the noise of the aroma. This everywhere is, smelling because then they have the fragrance free. Now, that is expert level marketing in action. because they have gotten feedback from all of the countries they've exported to, all the countries they're trying to open new markets in, right? And they realize, look, so people like the soap. They don't like how it smells. People like the soap, but they don't like how strong the odor is.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? Have the people who like the normal one that we've been producing, we'll have it for them. We have the fresh fragrance, and then we have the fragrance free.
Yeah.
Tell me, are they selling more or not?
Of course, they'll definitely sell more. So that's what marketing does.
That's marketing in action. Understanding your markets fully. Remember what I said, identifying the customer's needs and anticipating them.
Yeah.
Identifying, anticipating, and satisfying their needs.
Okay, so another thing, I'll take you back to the beginning of our conversation, where the business starts. You said marketing involves the color, marketing involves the graphics, marketing involves a whole lot. Now, where do businesses miss it at the foundation when they're just starting? Most businesses don't even put those things into consideration.
I agree.
Good. So at what point would you say, okay, this is what you should bring in. This is what you should factor in as you are starting? Because most of them have missed it.
So when you do miss this kind of things at the beginning of, your life as a business, there's an opportunity to make amends.
Good.
And that's when innovation comes in, right? So remember that the example I gave you, the soap has been there since, I think they've been producing since 1995 or 2005 or something. It's been there for,
for
a very
ages,
long time.
true.
But, they didn't do away with it. They had done that. So what they did was step it up, right? And innovation was what led to the other two guys, who now means, or rather, that innovation has allowed them to sell more in newer markets and even to the market that they currently operate in.
True.
Right? So I always beg people, it's not because I'm in marketing, it's not because I run a marketing business, it's not because it's once you have the idea, your marketing starts. Marketing is the function that goes all the way through. But if you haven't done that from the beginning, it's, like I said, the next best time to do anything is right now. Right? Just start to look at it. How can we retrace a couple of things? How do we rebrand? How do we change our tone of voice? How do we start to move towards? Because again, like I said at the beginning, you can't sell to everybody.
True.
Everybody is not your target audience. Everybody is not your target market. Everybody is not your customer.
Okay, so innovation. Something leads to innovation. That's research.
Yes.
Now, most organizations find research as expensive. They see it like that. For me to carry out this research, for me to send people to the field, to do market survey, to ask questions, to do this, to do that, they see it that this is it's
costly.
It's costly. It is not something we can afford. So let's do away with it. Then, another angle to this, some places have actually carried out this research. Implementation is another thing.
God, have mercy.
So looking at it now, a business that finds carrying out research as one big deal and the one who refuses to implement, how can innovation come in there?
Making money is hard.
Yeah.
Losing money is hard.
I think it's much more easier though.
Choose your hard. I'll tell you this. So let's look again at the case in point of my example, the soap. I remember I said they're linked. So marketing has allowed them create new variants, right? So if you're the salesperson working for that brand, do you realize that your work is just cut and sew, like they say? It's very routine at that point. Because the marketing function, right, has taken care of what needs to be done. Right? They understand the customer, they've identified the customer's needs, they've anticipated their needs, and they've satisfied it.
Okay.
Of course, in partnership with the product team, right? And the business as a whole. So if you as a salesperson, you are giving that brand to go and sell, and you go and say, look, this is this soap. Remember I said sales is push. We've created this soap. It's really nice. It helps your skin glow, removes wrinkles. You will call out all the unique selling points of your product.
True.
Sales, push. The customer says, oh yeah, I know it, right? But I don't like the way it smells. What do you do at that point as a salesperson? We have fresh fragrance. We're still smelling. We have fragrance free. The only time you would walk away without making a sale with those kind of options are if the person does not have the money or the intention to buy.
Yeah.
I promise you. So your job is you're not giving discount. The company is not losing money because discount comes from somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's not money in the air. Any discount you get, somebody's paying for it.
True.
Right? So if you as a salesperson have that many options, it's just like the hotel. You know, there's the standard, there's the deluxe, there's the suite, we have given you options. How do you want it? So, and that's how innovation starts.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said, the hotel, the hospitality industry, it's the same way. You go, everybody standard type of rooms, 60 rooms, all the same. Somebody said, you know, hey, some people want to come and relax. They want to do honeymoon, right? How about we give them something a bit more upscale, you know, bigger room where they can, and that's how the honeymoon suite was created. That's innovation. That is marketing.
Yeah.
Because they've realized that people that come, it's not only single or travelers, that come to the hotel. People want to come and chill. Some people just want time away from home. Some people just, people are passing through. They don't need all the many things there. They don't. They just want somewhere to sleep. They're, it's work, and they go. So there's a standard room, nothing extra. You have your bed, you have the basic amenities, and you're good. But people want to come and chill. Then we have the honeymoon suite for you. We have the deluxe, we have the this, and we have an innovation led to that. Again, understanding that research does not necessarily have to be expensive is something a lot of business owners need to do. I'll give you an example. I worked in 2015, right? I worked on a campaign for a big, arguably one of the biggest, CSD soft drink brands in the world. And we were going to schools in Nigeria, right?
Okay.
And then we were sampling. So essentially we're giving samples of the product, and students would queue, and everybody comes, cold bottle of this soft drink. And I, because the team was doing that, and I was just, there trying to see what was going on. And I just realized that out of every 5 students that would come forward to get a bottle of drink, maybe like 2 or 3 of them would say, again, we went to some public schools, right?
Yeah.
Now no give us this sausage roll. Now just they give us drink.
Nothing to wash and
just they give us drink, and I don't give us this sausage roll.
Yeah.
And it became a thing. And you would realize at that point that is feedback, that's actionable intel.
Yeah.
For you to act on. Nobody paid for any research. There was no R&D set up for that. Real life. And that's why I said understanding fully your audience.
Yeah.
Being immersed in the audience, in your market. And then you see what they need. Remember I said identifying, anticipating, and satisfying.
Yeah.
Right?
I have so many questions, but time. But before we go, a little about you. You've worked with so many companies. But first, tell us about your company. What led to it?
This, to a large extent, led to it.
Are you doing this out of passion or?
I'm extremely passionate about it.
Okay, but growing up, at some point, you were not thinking about it.
So growing up, I started in media, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on radio, I was on TV. I always knew I was going to end up in marketing, to be fair.
Okay.
And this is, growing up, there's something Yorubas call Fawaraja.
Okay, so you interpret that.
Yeah, so Fawaraja is essentially someone, or is used to describe someone who is, now I would try my best, right? Who has the mien, who has the warmth, who,
okay.
So I'm trying to see if I can give a literal interpretation to
that's the sugar.
Yeah, so it was like, you use what you have to buy goods. So how some people would say, oh, I'm giving you fizzy because it's you.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from? So typically I would not give this, but there's an extra because it's you. So growing up, I always was that guy. I would go to the market with my mom. I would move around. I didn't like it because everybody used to send me to the market because they knew once I go to the market, I'm coming back with extra. Right.
Oh,
and it was just, so I was just that guy. I would meet you at your level. I tell people, you need to learn to abase and abound. So if we're doing chopsticks or we're doing fine dining, bring it on. If you want to sit by on the road and, buy bully, bring it on. So I've been that guy. I've been very fluid growing up, right? So I knew that, and again, remember, I said you need to understand your market. So if you're someone who's very posh, and you're trying to sell to the hoi polloi, you're wasting your time. So that happened. I always spoke very well. I always, was interested in having conversations with people. And, media just came. It was just, I started blogging, so I was writing from writing. I went on to do TV, radio, did there for a couple of years. Had my own show on one of the radio stations in Lagos, had stints for TV, and then, I was then brought in to lead a business inside of a consortium that was majorly marketing. And, again, the kind of ideas that I usually brought to bear, brought to the table was there were things that could not be ignored.
Yeah.
So there was no brainstorm session that happened without me being seated. It was not going to happen. With brainstorm, we have a new brief. It's Femisire, So it was that, and I just, I think that was when the marketing part to me really blossomed.
Okay.
And, it's been that ever since. And remember, like I said, the art of marketing, I'm very passionate about it.
You are in the art side. You said you're not interested in the science part.
The science part is great. It's standard. It's numbers. It makes you look and feel intelligent. But there's a huge but there. Okay. The art part is really what connects you. And once there's a connection, you're good.
Okay, so your final word to organizations, businesses that still see marketing as it's just that department. It's just, and they don't actually know what you're missing or what you're losing.
So like I said, it's a disservice to the business.
Okay.
It's a big, big disservice to your business. If you think that the marketing function of your business is just to go and sell, then you're putting so much money on the table. Because once you know who you're talking to, you know how to talk to them, you know where to find them, you know when to talk to them. Once you know everything, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's round peg, round hole. But once you go and you've invested so much money, you've bought equipment, you've bought, you've done production, you've hired people to do stuff, and then someone now tells you, this is not. What now happens is you're now going to spend way much more money in trying to sell. So you're now pushing. And that's a lot of money that you have to spend. But if you've done it properly, you don't need to push. Like I said, you don't sell water to a thirsty man. You don't. If I know that everybody here is thirsty, I don't need to make noise. I will bring water. They will find me.
Yeah.
They would find me.
True.
Once one person sees I have water, I will tell everybody that
someone is selling that.
Someone's selling water. I would not say right? And that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of businesses need to take that part very seriously.
Yeah.
And, there's more money to be made.
Yeah, a whole lot of money. Thank you very much, Femisire Ajayi, for coming on the show today. Yeah. So from the name, we understand that, yes, you're a Yoruba person. Yes. So what part of the West are you from? Oyo State. Okay, so you speak there's this Yoruba that the Oyo people speak, some part of the Oyo that is so.
Don't do it. Don't do it. So I don't. Okay, but bring it on.
Okay, so I like that. I like that. He said I should bring it on. So you're going to speak that deep Yoruba, that particular one in Oyo State.
After you?
No, not after me though. So you're going to use that. So say hello to your team, your staff, your clients, your fans, your everyone. You will say hello to them in Yoruba, the deep one. and be specific and to tell them to keep watching Just Africa on Supis Television. And of course, they should subscribe. Over to you.
I'm not sure I can, but...
Well, at least you can speak.
Yeah, so...
that's the camera action.
Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wọ́n mi lórí TV, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa wo Just Africa on Sup News Television. I think that's the best I can do right now.
And I actually heard on. Are you supposed to say on in your
Please, I know the show to go to if I'm not going to speak any English.
All right, but I think I'm trying. Yes, you did try. You tried. Yeah. Thank you very much once again for coming on the show.
Thank you so
and
much.
I hope when we call you next time, you'll be available too.
Oh yeah, by all means. I had a blast.
I like that. All right, so today's conversation reminds us that the future of marketing in Africa will not be built in noise, but on nuance. Not just on technology, but on thoughtfulness. Not just on visibility, but on value. As MarTech expands and media evolves, one thing becomes clear. Strategy is the real competitive advantage. Data must meet culture, innovation must meet integrity, and impact must go beyond impressions. The future belongs to brands that listen before they launch. That was what he said. That position before they promote, that builds ecosystems, not just campaigns. So to every marketer, founder, and brand leader watching right now, the question is no longer how do we sell more? It is how do we matter more? Because in Africa's next chapter, attention will be earned, trust will be intentional, and impact will be the true metric of success. This is Just Africa, where we don't just discuss the future, we challenge ourselves to shape it. Until next time, I am Umevi Idolo, and thank you for watching.